Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teague, with like always is Noah Bailey. So we've both finally seen Dune Part 2, so we're gonna start by talking about that movie. Um, yeah, start with your general thoughts.
It's wild. That was a
Yeah.
lot going on. It was really there. First of all, I am okay. So
Hmm.
I did not watch the original movie again right before this, but I
Hmm.
did do some homework with I did the crash course how to get caught up and understand. I am so glad I did that because I would have been lost. But dude, actually understanding and them going back and okay, this scene was important because that really helped. Because now I'm going in, I'm like, oh, I understand. And my friend's like, who are these people? I'm like, oh yeah, no,
Mm,
these are the guys, these are the bad guys. They're just the Empire. It's fine. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
pretty much.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's like just they're stormtroopers. They're fine. It doesn't matter they got killed. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just no. It was great. There was, I mean, cinematography was of course amazing. The vastness of the Dune planet is just magnified. Just I really like the acting. I love the characters. The characters really lean into the characters who they are. It was a really good. I really liked the. I don't remember any of the names. I will say that, but the totally psycho killer guy who just slices people for funsies.
Oh yeah.
Like
It starts with an F.
yeah,
Freyja,
bro.
something like that.
I
Yeah.
I know he was a psychopath, but bro, he was killing that. I was like, yo, I believe this man is a psychopath. Space Zaz. I don't even know what to call him. I just
Hmm.
no. I mean, when it was just talking to someone, like, oh, actually, you can't do that. I was like, oh my god, he's so evil. I love it.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah, and
so
I
terrible.
man, these it's one of those movie franchises where every single line of dialogue means something. Because in the first movie, uh, Paul is training with Josh Brolin's character. That's just
Mhm.
Josh
Yeah.
Brolin. That's I don't remember names. And they're sparring, and he says a line to the tune of the the slow blade gets the kill, which if when you're fighting, you gotta outspeed your opponent, but once you actually like uh go to stab the shield thing, which they didn't really use much in
Shields.
this movie,
Yeah.
but it's still it's still a factor for this franchise. It's you gotta slow down a little bit in order to actually make it pass, and that's kind of a theme for Paul throughout the entire franchise, where he kind of has to like slow down, take things a little slower, process what's going on throughout the entire time. Whereas the villains are very spontaneous, very greedy, very we do this now, you know, to the point where that guy just without of nowhere will just kill, just be just a maniac for
Yes.
no reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dave Bautista's character is just very angry, very just spontaneous, a different way where he's just always just really quick to kill anybody who he sees as inferior or insubordinate, even if they're doing their job. It's I can't get the shot, I'll do it myself. And just yeah, just those parallels are so cool. And yeah, that's just the thing I just absolutely adore about this movie. On top of just the way it looks, the way it sounds, just the writing is just so tight and just so poignant and good. It's
Mhm.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, like you said, everything means something, especially when there's callbacks based on visions or a scene will happen that you saw earlier. And you're like, oh, that's oh, he's done.
Yes,
Oh my god,
yes.
man.
Two things on that. First, there's a scene at the very beginning of Dune Part One. Um, uh, he's having a vision, and Chani is narrating it, or she's you know, there's always been colonizers of our land. I wonder who the next colonizers will be. Cut to the vision of Paul in that suit of armor, flipping and beating up a bunch of guys, and turning around, the face mask flips up. And then in this uh, movie, like during the climax, Chani does almost the exact same like motion, like like bug at the screen, like that's cool. I don't really know what that means, but it's cool that they did that homage.
It's just
And then
it's symbolism. It's all the things.
yeah, and then also at the very beginning of this movie, um, in like due to the aftermath of what happened with all the villains killing all the Atreides, they're like piling up bodies and burning them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how this movie starts, is with a big pile of burning bodies, and then the movie
Right.
ends with the Fremen, who historically throughout the entire franchise have been very keen to preserve fluid to the point where they will
Mm-hmm.
siphon off of dead people. They're also just burning bodies. It's like, huh, interesting. Like now they're doing the same thing the villains are doing. That's very interesting.
Mm. I
I
wonder
love
if
it.
that means anything.
Yeah.
Man. No, I will say I do. Paul's character, like Timothy Chalamet, does a great job really owning this
Mhm.
character. Who, like, I love how over the course of the movie he goes from "Can I learn from these people?" to "Can I trust them?" to "Do they trust me?" to "Can I control them?" Like
Mhm.
very like quickly but naturally. You can kind of like
Yes.
by the end of it, he's like feeling the problem. He's like, I'm the chosen one here. Like, I'm
Hmm.
space Jesus, not you. Like, it's so like
Yeah.
he's so like he gets into it so quickly. You're just like, that feels so real because you've seen that happen in real life. Someone kind of
Mhm.
unsure. Well, is this really me? To they're like, no, I am everything. You are
Oh
nothing. You're just
yeah.
like, wow, that escalated
And
quickly.
I love Javier Bardem's character. What's his name? I just had it.
Yeah.
Stilgar, just being his cheerleader the whole time. It's so good. To the point where like when he's picking his name, he's like, what's the name of that little mouse guy?" And like they're really like, "Ah, he
Oh
wants to be a mouse." He's like, "No, the mouse is a good choice." It's like, okay.
God. Oh my god. No. And then everything is as was written, as was like it was like
Hmm.
said like four times. And I was like it was literally I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be like, yeah, he like tied his shoe just as the prophecy
Hmm.
says. Like it's just like, but it's so real because like you
That's how
every
we
cult
know
has
you're the
that
chosen
person.
one. The real chosen one wouldn't say he's the chosen.
Right, right. He's even more the chosen one than he was 5 seconds ago. It's like what? Oh, like it's so funny, but like that. I mean, but like if you're in like a cold or something, you eat that stuff up. Like that's real. Like
Yeah,
oh
and
my
I love how
gosh,
Chani wasn't like feeling it the entire time. Like she
right?
liked Paul, but she liked him insofar as him not buying the whole prophecy thing. And then as soon as he did, she wasn't, she wasn't really into that. And I liked that a lot.
That's yeah. I think that was really cool, and I think like no, and I think their relationship was very like natural. But I also think they're like the rocks they hit were also pretty real too, because it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
as more is happening, and he's clearly changing, but of course he doesn't see it the way she does. Because she's
Mm-hmm.
like, "What are you doing?" Like, and then at the end, where she's like, "I will always love you." 5 seconds later, I'll take your daughter's hand, and I was like, "Yo, this she's in the same room, my God. Like, I get like, don't get me wrong, I'm with you. They're both awesome. But I mean,
Right,
bro,
but
like,
come on.
come on. I mean, she's still in earshot, my guy. Like, that is so disrespectful. Like that. I just like we ever looked at each other, we were just like, this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
He is
I love
officially
how
lost
he
it.
he used the voice to tell that one like head witch lady to shut up. Just like silence,
Yes.
like very good.
Yes.
Speaking of the Austin Butler's maniac guy, I just love so much how like that one lady presented him the box, and then the next scene is like he actually quite enjoyed the box. Like, of course he did. Of course he did.
Of course he did. As was written. Like, yeah, I swear. No, I mean, it was.
And yeah, just
I know.
the
It was wild.
visuals are, I think, were especially a standout because like the way that pretty much the entire movie was set on this like orange gray background, but every time color like the movie wanted color to pop, it would like the blue of like Chinese ice throughout. But then as soon as Paul got drank the stuff and his eyes turned blue, like they were the center of every scene he was in. That scene on the Harkonnen planet where it's all black and white the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was good.
Yeah, I know. Remember, you were telling me about that before we talked about it, and I was just like, "Oh, this is the thing." And I was like, "Oh, I see now."
Yeah,
I've been enlightened.
Yeah, and like, I was literally on the edge of my seat watching Paul jump on that sandworm the first time. Like, oh, that's like I knew I was like I had a feeling he would be a success, but this could go really bad really fast.
It was so stressful. Well, yeah, I mean, because again, the sandworms are so like scary and like feared. It's in the movie, like, and I did. Me and my friend accidentally got the Dolby or whatever AMC where like you could like feel it and everything kind of too.
Okay.
And dude, when
That's
that sandworm, like, bro, I mean, like you could like that sandworm was coming. I was like, yo, bro, back. I was like, yo, bro, get ready. Like, I was like, it's not even real. I'm freaking out here. But like, of course, and like the thing that makes you freak out is the other people who do this like for a living are like, oh, that's not good. Like that makes you freak out. They're like, oh, they said I wanted the big one. He's like, I didn't want the biggest one. Like, hey, yo, like, which I was just like, that's terrible. Like everyone who does this for it's like when you get hurt and then you go to the doctors, they're like, oh, that's bad. It's like, wait, if you think it's bad, then how freaked out should I be?
Right. The end where they ride into the climax on like multiple sandworms. Yes. Oh, that's so cool.
That was such a good scene. And then when they come up out of this, like, I love that where they like hide the sand, they just like pop up. Like, that's so cool.
Yes. I do find it very funny that they never show anyone get off a sandworm. Like they're traveling with 20 plus people on one sandworm, and then they're just at their destination. We even see them get off. Like, how do they get off?
That is very true. That is one thing to think, because it's like it's not like the sandworm slow. Because it's not slowing down. Like, I doubt it. So it's kind of like, did we all just grab the old people and jump? Like, that feels. I don't know. Like, that feels not correct, but I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, maybe, but
yeah. But yeah, like I saw a tweet shortly after finishing the movie that said the best actor in Dune is whoever the camera is currently pointed at. I'm like, that is so true. Every single actor in this movie brought their A game. It is just astonishing just how good every single character is. Every good actor is like, wow.
I mean, that's my thing. But no, it was. I mean, everyone was killing in their role. The emotions felt real. At no point did any actor take me out of the movie. Like, I felt I was submerged in the movie. And like, this is one of those movies that you like it even if you don't totally get everything that's going on. So how much more, like, once you finally get everything, is it like even better? It's like,
yeah. And there's been very, very few times when I'm watching a movie and I'm not, I'm enjoying it. And then after I leave the film, I like it even more. That like hardly ever happens. I think back because that was a little nitpick, or that didn't quite come around like I thought it would, or there's maybe one scene I could possibly nitpick, and that's the first time we do see them like pop out of the ground, like run at that one big like the spice miner robot, and like it's a very well done scene where like Shawnee and Paul are pinned down by that one like the helicopter flying, and they're at that and like they have to
Mhm.
like move with it. Like it's very well done. But then right after they finish taking out the helicopter, the Fremen just blast it and it explodes. Like I don't really get the point. I don't really know what they were doing that whole time. I don't really know why they had to do that when they could just blast it. But it was a
Wait.
very well done scene. It's just a little nitpick, but like,
Yeah, that's so
but outside
smart.
of that one little nitpick, I don't really have anything negative to say about the movie.
No, it's really good. Oh, it's just a wild. There's just so much going on. Like the mom like becomes the like spiritual mother, and then like but
Hmm.
the pregnant baby's like talking to her the whole time. And it's just
Yeah.
like what? But like that's so weird. But that's so cool.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, and the music in this movie is
Hmm.
like Hans Zimmer. He
He
man,
cooks.
like he's been kind of phoning it in for a lot of movies the past couple of years, and like it's verifiable that he's actually had like interns or like people that are like on his
Bro.
team write stuff for him. He's old, I get it. Like he has a lot of stuff going on,
Yeah.
but he, oh, this he cooked for this movie.
He cooks, bro. I was like, I was just like, oh.
And this might sound a little counterintuitive to what I just said, but like I think my favorite moment musically was actually like during the knife fight at the end where they're like squaring up, the music swelling, and all of a sudden it cuts out and they start knife fighting, and they're like, it's a
Mm.
super tense scene. There's no music the entire time until it ends. Like that. Ooh, like sometimes a lack of music can be more powerful than actual music, and I thought that was done very well.
Mm. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's so much about this that was just like, you want to see it again. Like, I kind of want to go again. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I, yeah,
Right?
like there's not that many, over 2 hours and 40-minute movies that I would like want to sit through again. But if I could find a place that has that like 4D experience like you did, that'd be fantastic.
Bro, it was wild. Like, it's just like you could feel it shaking. It's so good, dude.
Hmm. Yeah, it's one of those movies where like you know some sometimes we review stuff here and we think it's terrible. We talk about it for 3 hours. Sometimes we talk about something that's really really good for multiple hours. But sometimes something is just good, and that's all there's to say about it. Like it's good. Like I really like it. I recommend it. I liked almost everything about it. It's good.
100%. It's awesome. Everyone should watch it. And
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
and it's looking like it's gonna be a pretty big hit. Um, I think I remember seeing that original projections for this movie was like 50 million opening. It destroyed that. I mean, I think over 90 million domestic opening weekend, over
Woo.
200, sorry, like
Woo.
180 worldwide, and it's sitting at almost 400 now after only 2 weekends.
Yeah, they gonna do all right.
I don't like, yeah,
They going
379 right now. Like that's almost the entire.
379.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, they cooking.
yeah. I know the first one also released on HBO during the pandemic, so it wasn't like
Hmm.
it wasn't going to make a lot, but that movie made over 400. So like
That's what I'm
with
saying.
that
With COVID,
circumstances, so, yeah, this movie's pushing at least 8, if not a bill. Like it is, yeah, it deserves it too.
yeah. No, this movie's definitely really good. It's worth it for sure. But
Like I really do think this movie will have the same Spider Verse effect, where like it's the movie comes out at the very beginning of the month, and other big movies will be coming out, but I don't think they're really going to make as big of a dent as like Kung Fu Panda came out last weekend. Some people saw it, but it didn't make nearly as big of a splash as I'm sure the studio was hoping.
hmm.
And like I think there was only a 40% dip in like between first and second weekend, which is for a movie in general is very good. Most Marvel movies are good to hit like 55-ish% dip. So the fact there's only a 40% dip is really good.
Hmm. Not
So
bad, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's good. There's not a, I mean, there's more to say, but like, it's just, it's one of those things where you like, I'd rather you just watch it and then you confirm with me. Like, you can't really
yeah.
explain it. I mean, you can, but
Hmm.
it's just
It's one of
really, it's
those
just a really
things
cool
where,
one.
yeah, every time I see a clip of it on Twitter, it's like, oh, that's a great scene. It's like every scene's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's great. Oh, I love that part. Oh, that was good. Like, oh, that little detail I missed, and that was it's it's a really good movie.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's really good, and I also think like it seems like an ideal second movie in a trilogy. Like it's just
Mm.
like it builds off of really well off everything established in the first movie. It picks up right where it left off, but also doesn't take too long reintroducing ideas and new things. It kind of just
Mm.
goes for it. It does a great job fleshing out the characters, a lot of things. Like, yeah, it's a lot of character growth, and then it ends at a great stopping point. Like
Oh yeah.
I was so worried that it was going to end maybe too early or too late,
Hmm.
but like having them go into that big like the big knife fight in the throne room, and then basically you stopped one, you basically ended one war just to start an even bigger one is like perfect.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, it's also one of the very few over 2 hour movies that doesn't really feel like a 2 hour movie. Like,
Mm.
even though, something like The Batman, which I adore, The Batman, maybe even be a top 10 favorite movie of all time. It is fantastic. That's a 2 hour and 50-minute movie. It is long.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I feel that. But like this and like John Wick 4, where it's like, we're only at 2 hours, bring on the rest. Like, I want more of this. I'm not tired yet. Give it to me.
It's like, yeah, we didn't even realize I hit a wall. It's like, yeah, we're still going. But yeah, this
Mhm.
movie, it felt just right. Like, it didn't feel too short, but it didn't feel like, wow, we're almost at 3 hours. It was like, okay, perfect.
Mhm. So yeah, like, I definitely recommend seeing it if you haven't already, or if you have,
Go
see it
see
again.
it.
Although if you haven't seen it, I do recommend watching the first one uh, first. Just so yeah, you kind of can at least understand, because this, if you aren't really paying attention, I could potentially see this kind of movie being a movie where like some people just kind of glaze over watching it, where it is a lot of words. It is a lot of like new nouns and like phrases that are made up that like you kind of have to keep all in your head in order to like really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I wouldn't be surprised if like some people check out after the first 30 minutes or so, but you stick with it. The second half especially is like it. Oh, it goes. It goes.
Yes. It moves. And it's great. And the thing, too, is like, yeah, there is a lot you're going to have to, like, kind of roll with, so to speak, but it is really good.
Mm. So yeah, highly recommend. Anything else you want to say about Dune before we move on?
Um, Go see it.
Go,
Yeah, that's pretty much
go
it.
see it on the biggest screen possible.
Yes, yes. Go. Do not wait for it to come out. It will not be the same.
Yeah, because I first
Like
saw
the theaters.
Dune Part One on HBO Max, like the way it
Mhm.
like with it being released day and date there, uh, and yeah, I kind of wish I had seen it in theaters, and now watching this, I'm like, wow, yeah, this is the right way to watch this movie.
Yeah. No,
It's
definitely.
like,
I mean, if you had to pick one to see in theaters, you got the right one. But
yeah,
still,
like
like
you
definitely
you can
see
wait to see
both of
Kung Fu
them.
Panda, you can
It's
wait to see Ghostbusters or Godzilla. This you need to see in theaters.
oh man, I forgot they're making that new Ghostbusters. That was that.
Yeah,
I don't know. That did not look.
no, not really.
Eh.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So, quite a bit has happened since like our last proper podcast. One of those being on February 29th, which DC designates as Superman's birthday, uh, James Gunn like released an image of like the official Superman symbol for his movie. Did you see that?
I did,
Yeah,
yes.
it's very much. It looks very much like the Kingdom Come logo, where it's not like the clean S, but it's more like the negative space makes the S, and it's. I think it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Superman logo. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not bad either.
Yeah,
It's
it is. It's one of the only Superman logos I've seen where the border is yellow, which was a
yeah,
choice, and I think it works. Obviously, I'll need to see it on the full costume. I need to see
that's
the
kind
full
of my
costume. I'm
thing.
hoping for
Yeah,
Trunks, but that's beside the point. Like,
I think it'll be Trunks. I do.
I, I trust James Gunn. I'm sure he will, or at least some kind of red down there that's not
That's what I'm saying. It's
that's.
either Trunks or some kind of pants that could be Trunks or
Hmm,
something like I don't know.
yeah. Um, but yeah, like of course you had weirdos immediately try to compare it to to the Man of Steel symbol. It's like James Gunn can't even get that part right. This one looks so much better. It's like it's going to look different. Like you would, if it looked exactly the same, you would pick it apart or say that he's just copying. Like there's no way he could win. So I think being as different as it is, I think is probably the right way to go.
Yeah. And two, again, like you said, like we have to see it on the costume first. Like we're
Yeah,
making all like there's no reason to make all these assumptions about something we've only seen a small glare image of.
yeah, exactly. Although along with this announcement, James Gunn did also reveal that apparently while putting the final finishes on the script, he realized that the name of the movie should just be called Superman. Not Superman Legacy, is just Superman.
Did
So
that
he's
happen?
just
Did he change it?
yeah, it's just Superman.
Wait, really?
Yeah. He's just calling it Superman.
Can you do that? Is that allowed? I know there's been
for
like I mean
for the
I
record, for the record, there has never been a movie just called Superman. The movie from 1976, I think, is called Superman the movie. That's its official title, Superman the movie. So
okay.
there's like it doesn't have the same obviously search engine optimization is going to be better for Superman Legacy because that's because
Yeah.
subtitles always help, but Superman movie, it's
Yeah.
or James Gunn's
I
Superman.
mean, you're gonna have to put Superman 2025 or whatever, but I mean, it's fine. But I mean, at the same time, he's right. I mean, like, there's no better title for something than,
Yeah.
especially a
Plus,
first movie. Like, just yeah,
yeah, I've always thought it was a little weird that the first movie in the series was called Superman Legacy because what legacy is being left if it's your first thing? Like that seems a little obviously I think there's more to the story that he's either inheriting or is gonna be leaving one. Like this is, but I think just calling us Superman is I think that's fine. Superman is the main character, so yeah, just Superman. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's Superman. Just roll with it. And the thing too is like, you know, it works. We're all gonna know what it is, and like, yeah, I mean, as we build on, the other movies will have some title, and I think that's fine. I think you can't.
Mm,
You're probably not gonna be able to do that too often, but
yeah,
especially
and I
with
think you.
Superman, that is kind of a shock, but cool.
Yeah, I did like how that title is I don't know if it was even intentional, but the last episode of the animated series is just called Legacy. So I
Yes,
like that tie-in. I don't even know if he meant to do that. He
I
likes the DC animated
severely,
universe, so yeah.
I severely doubt it,
But
but
it'd be a cool
anything
name for
possible.
you know the the one after if he ever fights a Doomsday is the one after that. That could be fun. It's the
Hmm.
legacy he left behind after he died. Like that, that could be something. So
Yeah. Legacy
yeah,
left behind. You go. I think, hey, as long as it's good.
yeah, and I have absolutely no reason to doubt it. Especially since he also around the same time revealed that they cast uh, Wendell Pierce as Perry White. Who Wendell Pierce is? He played Rachel's dad in Suits.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't hate. I don't. How do you feel about that?
He's a great actor. Like I love him in everything
Yeah,
ever
I'm
been
about to
in
say
that
I
I've
don't hate
seen.
that
But
at all.
yeah,
I could very
like
much see that. He that would work.
yeah, and like again, because these Zack Snyder fanboys are gonna do this thing, but they're calling him a copycat because he cast a black guy as Perry White. Because
I
Fishburne
mean,
was
yeah, because
his Perry White.
that's
Like,
all he's known about. Well, because of Lawrence Fishburne or whatever.
yeah, like he, like
Okay, like
okay,
he's
like
black. That's all they have in common.
yeah, the character has kind of taken on a Nick Fury type role where like
Yeah,
he was white up until he wasn't, and then he's just that forever.
he's just black. Which I mean, again, not that it matters, but I mean, does it?
No,
I mean, I think it's fine. I don't
any
think it matters.
any older guy can play the character
Yes,
perfectly fine. Like
yes,
I think I think this guy, Wendell Pierce, is a great is a great choice.
yeah. I am excited for this. Honestly, it's
Like
pretty
yeah,
cool.
like a kind of serious, no BS, just like very to the point. Like can get angry, can get serious. Like I, yeah, I think it. That's people were concerned for a while that there wasn't going to be a Perry White because there was no one for Perry White at the table read that was that happened earlier in February and oh, is he
Mm,
just not casting one? Yeah, he just I guess wasn't someone else was reading for him or he wasn't like finalized yet or something, but he'll be there. So
probably.
yeah.
Mm, I'm glad they got someone. Yeah, and I think, and again, it is like a, it's not a, it's important, but it's, it's Perry White. It's not like
Yeah.
essential, but they got to do that well.
Mm, yeah. Like I hope the movie just starts with him already being at the Daily Wire, our Daily Planet. Please don't be the Daily Wire. Sorry, Daily Planet.
Because he was in
That's
the
a
wild.
different
Yes,
thing.
yes,
Just
yes.
don't be there. Daily Planet. Like already been there for it's a couple of months. Just get. We don't like. You can have like teases to origin stuff. Like you can like obviously his parents will still be alive, but don't start at the farm and then go to Metropolis. Like I don't think you need all of that. I think you just start, at least a couple
Yeah,
months into him already being in Metropolis.
yeah. I mean, and the thing, I mean, it's, everyone know it's Superman. You don't have to redo everything. Like, yeah, you want to make stuff your own, but like, it's Superman. You don't have to like see him like, I need to get this job at the Daily Planet, and then he spends half the movie trying to get the job. It's like we come on, like we don't
Yeah.
have to do this.
Mm, yeah. Um, the, there hasn't been like an official confirmation about who the main villain is yet. Obviously, Lex Luthor has been cast. There's been some other characters that could at least be antagonistic to Superman, but no one who's like, this is the villain of the movie. And
Hmm.
like, there's rumors that a Bizarro could happen. There's rumors of a Brainiac. There's rumors that just like Luthor could just be doing his thing, which I think is fine for a Superman movie. But regardless, I trust James Gunn to do to make whatever work. So
Absolutely.
yeah, another movie that I trust will be very very good, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to see. The Batman 2 has officially
Hmm.
been delayed to October 2026.
I mean, it stinks that that's delayed, but I mean, apparently it was they need help with the script because of the whole writing short stop thing that happened a while back. So, by all
Yeah,
means, take your time, do what you got to do, make it
yeah,
great. October is a great month for a Batman movie, anyway.
Mhm. This will be the second time the Batman movie has been delayed out of October. It was originally going to come out in October 2021, and they got delayed to March, and now it's going to be October 2025. Got delayed to the following October. So, and I do think that's okay because like I know 2026 might also be crazy, but 2025 is going to be especially crazy because we got obviously
Mhm.
Superman, we have
Right.
we have potentially Beyond the Spider Verse if that gets delayed out of this year. Fantastic Four, Captain America, the Thunderbolts, which who cares about that one, but you know what I mean. Like, there's at least one or two other kind of big movies coming out next year as well. And the way it's looking right now, I highly doubt Avengers 5 is going to be ready by 26. So I next October, I'll be ready for a Batman movie by next day of August. But like I think
Absolutely.
whatever. But like I think you know I think that works. It'll be really good. I don't care when it comes out. I want it now, but whatever. Um,
Like, I'd
although
rather it be now, but I understand that it doesn't have
yeah,
to be.
like it'll give. It would also allow time for the story to like not necessarily be just about Batman's like early years. Like Robert Pattinson is going to be either almost 40 or like there's like he will be 40 by then. I don't know exactly. Um, so if they want to like have a significant time jump between because originally it was just going to be called the Batman Part Two, take place almost immediately after, which I
Hmm.
never loved. I feel like
Yeah.
first of all, Part Two for this like Dune, yeah, that is exactly right after. Like I think that's
Right, picks up.
great.
It's like the next day.
Yeah, pretty much. But the Batman, there's so much Batman stuff you can do. Like, I don't think you need to just be like, oh, we're gonna deal with the thing immediately after this movie. Like, I don't know. I feel like you can space it out a little bit, have him grow as a character in between films. I think that's fine.
Yeah, and like it gives you time to set up the rest of the universe too, so you don't have to really explain. Because again, it is Batman, so you don't have to explain as different villains, other characters get introduced. You can kind of just have, oh, here's Harvey Dent. Oh, here's who. Like you
Hmm.
don't have to like explain a ton. Like
Right.
if you want to, you can, but like you can also just start with more people, which is good.
Hmm. Yeah. Here's my conspiracy theory. I
Okay.
think there is because the Batman got delayed. I think that there is a significantly higher chance now that the Batman will be a part of James Gunn's universe now.
Really?
Yes, because the script hasn't been finalized yet. So if they wanted to do that, which I don't necessarily like or dislike the idea of that happening, but if they wanted to do it, I think it could work. Um, but the script hasn't been finished yet, so they could tie in stuff. They could like up the like fantastical elements a little bit, to match the rest of the world. Like they could do that.
But I mean, but they're already planning on doing a whole Batman movie. But like, I mean, with that, how would that, you know what I mean? Like, how would they make that work? Kind of like that's, you
So
know what I mean?
that's kind of that's also part of the reason why I think. Did you freeze? You still there?
Uh,
Oh,
I can
okay.
hear you. Yeah. Am I
Okay, cool.
still?
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's part of the reason why I kind of think that this might happen because I believe the original pitch was for Batman Brave and the Bold to come out in 2026,
Right.
and this got delayed into that slot. And I could very easily see Robert Pattinson's Batman be one that gets a Robin, just the way he acted in the first Batman movie. Just like I could easily see him kind of spontaneously adopting this, this
Definitely.
boy. Yeah. Um, and considering the whole reason to have Batman Brave and the Bold is because there's already this one Batman universe going on that is more grounded. So they wanted an older Batman with the entire family already established to kind of parallel that without confusing people. If you wanted to just add some of those elements to the Batman, while the script is still being written, you could do that.
I guess you could, but I guess I don't know. I feel like that would get messy though, because then you've got to like, if they had someone else in mind for Batman, you can't really use that person anymore. I mean, like, and
Yes,
also,
but I
go
think
ahead.
Robert Pattinson is like he proved himself to be a really good Batman. So,
Agreed, but
and Matt Reeves proved himself to be a really good director of Batman. And
right.
currently, the guy that directed The Flash, although that's not really his fault per se, he's the one who's currently tasked to make the next Batman. And from what I've seen from him, he's not as good of a director as Matt Reeves, so why bother?
I hear you, but I don't know. I just in my head it seems like too many. I mean, it could be done. There's a lot of time between now and 2026, but I mean,
Hmm.
but then again, there really isn't because it is 2024. Like when it
Yeah.
was 2026 back in like 2023, it's like okay, yeah, but now it's like well, that's not too far away
I
because
mean,
you're gonna have to start filming pretty soon, and
yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I mean, we'll have all of 2025 to film it, and then, you know, 10 months in 2026 to do pickup shots and, potential reshoots and editing and stuff. So I think it,
I mean,
I don't
it
know.
could be done. I just
It could be
don't.
done.
I It could be done. I feel like if I'm, either Matt Reeves or James Gunn, I feel like that's maybe a potentially too unnecessary risk where you can just kind of do your own thing. Because
But
in
if
the mind of
I'm,
Matt,
but
okay,
if I'm Warner Brothers, and I know that James Gunn has like they basically gave him full control. But if I'm Warner
right,
Brothers, I don't know if I would necessarily trust two different Batman going at the same time, or or I would feel like just make people like this Batman, people like this super, assuming that movie goes well, people like this Superman, people want them to be together. Just do a world's finest of these two.
mm.
I could, I, I could see that working.
I I mean, yeah, maybe so. I mean, I think they would definitely try. I don't know if I love it, but I guess they could go for. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, but
Mm.
for me, that gets maybe, but it's possible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like I said, like going into it, I didn't love or hate it, but like I kind of talked myself into liking it a little more. But I wouldn't be disappointed if it didn't happen, assuming that the
mhm.
Batman Brand the Bold movie or whatever that ends up actually being is at least good. I don't think it's going to be as good as Matt Reeves's universe, but like I'm okay with having two Batman. I like
Yeah, no,
I like Batman. I want more Batman.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I feel like that's the thing. Like, I think like there's no issue if you're Warner Brothers, there's no issue to just do two things. Like, just have Matt Reeves Batman killing it in his thing, and then yeah, I trust James Gunn to make Batman in this universe and just go for it. Also, I don't think you have
Mm,
because I know there's been like history of we don't want multiple Batman competing or whatever, but
so dumb.
I think
So dumb.
yeah I listen I don't understand it. I never did, but it's one of those things where it's like I think now they've kind of learned that audiences are dumb. They can figure it out.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would do that. I'm not saying it's out of the question. I just don't see that happening as of now, but I could be
Mm,
wrong. And if I am, hey, that's fine. Like
yeah.
I try like whatever they think is the best decision, I think that could be done well.
Mm,
I have to see it.
yeah. Just there's still plenty of time to finalize that script. I'm sure they'll decide one way or the other, but either way, I feel like the Batman could easily be the best superhero movie of that year. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
or maybe get the next Tom Holland Spider Man. Doctor Strange 3 is maybe scheduled to be that year, but I don't know.
I mean, at
Same with
that point,
Shang-Chi too. Like, yeah.
we're so far ahead that like we don't even know. Like some things get moved around. hopefully not canceled, but you never know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Avengers 5 was like after everything got reshuffled, was gonna be May 26th, but that's not happening. That is absolutely not happening.
no. Oh, they were talking about 2 Avengers movies in 2025. I'm like, yeah, somehow I don't see that happening
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
Like,
Even
just
pre-writer strike, there's no way that was gonna happen.
right? That's what I'm saying. Like, so now we're definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Moving over to Sony stuff for a bit. Um, the official title for Venom 3 has been announced. It's going to be called Venom: The Last Dance.
All right. I mean, that why?
With a title like that, I feel like that's going to be the last of it.
I mean, that's a good thing, but like, why would you call it that? I mean, I just feel. I mean, I know the name was already cheesy in the last one, but I mean, this one's just like. I mean,
like, what even is it? Like,
yeah. I mean,
like, because after Madam Web came out and that movie just absolutely tanked,
as it
just
should have.
hasn't even broken 100 million yet. Like it, I think that movie has like 120 million, maybe somewhere between 90 and 120 million budget. It's at like 86 million right now, so it is. If it breaks even, it is like on the thinnest margin of breaking even. so
And doesn't
yeah,
deserve it either. I mean,
yeah, and you know that Craven, that's maybe you'll do better. I don't know, but it won't make the
I
money,
mean, it'll
like
do
not as
better
much
than
as
Madam Web, but not by much.
yeah. Even I know it was kind of still during COVID, but like Let There Be Carnage made half of what the first one did. So they just keep
Yeah,
making less
I
and
mean,
less money with each movie, like
I think
literally
the
almost
first.
half each time because Venom 1 made over 800 somehow. Venom 2 made 400 something. Morbius made like 160 something. And then
Oh
Madam Web
boy.
made 80 something.
So we're on track to be in the
Craven could make
40s.
40.
I mean, it'll make more than 40. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
disrespectful. But I mean, I could like, I mean, like, if I go to the movies, they're making 40. But I mean, like, I just maybe. I mean, my thing is like these movies are bomb. Like, okay, well, not all of them, but the last two have bombed, and like we're not learning a lesson. And it's like, what are we doing here, guys? Why are we still doing this?
I don't know. Like there was 2 years between Morbius and Madam Web, and they got the same guy to write both movies.
I just think it's crazy. It's not
Doing?
even the writing. It's just like, why are you making a Madam? Like, who sat down and was like, yes, we need a Madam Web movie, and then like nobody stopped them.
Mm-mm.
Like that's my thing. It's like, guys, I think you're just like fumbling. Like that. This is a
Yeah,
bad idea.
like a
I don't think that
Madam
was gonna
Web
work.
movie that's kind of moonlighting as a multiple Spider Women origin movie that would have been a much more interesting movie.
I mean, yeah, but like
Like
still.
do that instead. Spider Woman, like that. I feel that could be something. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just have a feeling like unless El Muerto somehow gets off the ground again.
Forgot it though. God, this is what I'm talking about, man.
uh,
Like, who? Like, why? Who that? What's even
exactly two
doing?
comics, two ever.
No. Who even found this character?
I
Like,
don't
I'm
know.
convinced like this character was just come on,
Like,
guys. Like, what are we doing? Why?
yeah, I don't
We
know.
don't need it.
So yeah, unless something else gets announced between now and when Venom 3 comes out, I am just going to assume that Venom 3 is going to be the last of these whatever
I
this series of movies is.
I hope so. I just never understood this. Like
Mm-mm.
Spider-Man characters without Spider-Man, but they also don't connect with each other
Yep.
because reasons.
Hmm.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. And then I hope the MCU just completely ignores the after credit scene of Morbius. Like that didn't happen. Adrian
No,
Toomes,
that
you're still over
definitely
here.
did.
It's fine.
No, that definitely didn't happen. Whatever that was, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. But that's my thing. I mean, they put this. I mean, even the like acknowledging Venom and like the I don't know. Like I'm just like this doesn't this is a fever dream. This is not real. Like none of these
Hmm.
like what are you doing? I don't know. I just
Yep.
don't like I don't get Sony's plan. Like I don't understand.
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea.
Like is it just I need to make movies out of spite? Is that what we're doing? Like
Maybe,
I don't know.
like maybe they had to be doing this in order to keep the rights or something.
That's what I was thinking. Like that's the only thing that makes any sense. But like
Hmm.
even then, that's like
Yeah, if
stupid.
anything,
Like
these
I don't
movies existing are just making the MCU Spider-Man movies worse. A, like by association, but also because you can't use these characters in those movies. So, especially with Secret Wars coming up kind of soon, if they follow the original plan of the comics and have the black suit, happen during that saga, we start there. You know, I would like for there to be some distance between Venom stuff in this weird universe and Venom stuff over there. So,
yes. I don't want any of
yeah.
that to have anything to do with it. Like I don't. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we're so far in with this Spider-Man and we haven't got there yet. But like, it feels like that's the next step. But I also kind of don't want it to be because I don't want anyone to be like, oh, this is because Tom Hardy's Venom came to this universe for a second or whatever. It's like, no, no, please, dear God,
Yeah,
no. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, October
But,
25th of this year. Hopefully that'll be the end of it.
we'll see.
Yep. All right. Moving on. A sequel to TMNT Mutant Mayhem is coming out in October 2026.
Okay.
So I don't love that and the Batman 2 are in the same month, but whatever.
I mean, it's not good for them financially, but I mean, it's
If it's
good
like
stuff.
one's at the end, one's at the beginning, I think they might be able to coexist. But
That's what I'm like, especially if like Batman's like if it's like if one of them's like yeah like if they're like say like Ninja Turtles is like that first weekend in October and then
mm,
Batman's like more Halloweeny, I
yeah.
think that'll work just fine.
Hmm.
Give it its 3.5 weeks of fame, and then like okay, time
Yes.
for the big kids.
Yeah. Like Mutant Mayhem is a very, very good Ninja Turtles movie. If you like Ninja Turtles at all, even if you don't, I think you would still I think you would still like this movie. Um, and they tease Shredder at the end, like you showed in the Ninja Turtles thing. So yeah, Shredder's probably going to be there, which is always cool.
Okay. Yeah, always a win.
Yeah,
Most shredders are amazing.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know what it might be on like Paramount Plus or something. If
It
anyone
is
has
on
that,
Paramount Plus right now. Yeah,
okay. Do you have that?
can't confirm. I actually do for like
Well,
the month because I no, I had it for 2 months because I was gonna watch the Super Bowl and my cable went out, and then it was
ah,
on Paramount Plus, and we're like, fine, we'll get Paramount Plus to watch the Super Bowl, and then I forgot to cancel it.
hmm.
Like they
Well,
all knew I would. They were
yeah.
smart.
Well,
They got
while
me.
you have it, you could watch Ninja Turtles on
That's
it.
what that's what I was thinking. I probably will do that, honestly.
Mm, yeah, yeah. It's one of those movies where I like, you know, I recommend to pretty much anybody. Like if you there is like a little bit of like gross out humor, but I think it works well enough with the vibe of the movie, so
Hmm.
it it's not like a persistent thing. It's just a couple of times. Um,
Yeah, and I feel like that's to be expected with like Ninja Turtle because there is just some generally gross stuff that happens.
yeah, but yeah, otherwise it's just a very very solid animated movie.
Hmm.
And speaking to sequels of pretty solid animated movies coming out in 2026, a sequel to the Mario movie is coming out in April 2026.
Nice.
So yeah, That's cool.
Yeah.
No idea what they're really gonna do. I know. Did you actually watch? Did you watch the Mario?
I haven't seen it. I didn't
No.
see
Okay.
it.
Okay. I think it at least was on Netflix. Might still be.
Probably.
Yeah. It's pretty solid. It's about as good as one could hope a Illumination made Mario movie could be. Like if we're being real. Um,
Okay.
like they teased Yoshi at the end, so Yoshi's gonna be at least a character in the next one. I'm hoping
That
for
sounds
Wario.
good.
I really hope Wario is somehow in it. Um, like they could do more with like Donkey Kong stuff. Like there's a lot of Mario lore they could pull from, like have an
Oh yeah.
entire like it's like Mario Tennis or Mario Party basically take
Well,
place
that's
in the
what I'm
Mario Kart
saying.
scene. Yeah,
I mean, a Mario Party like movie does sound kind of cool.
yeah,
Like just off the top, like yeah, that could be
mhm,
really interesting. Like that's what I'm saying. There's a lot. There's a lot of Mario stuff you could look into.
yeah. Yeah, they could pull from the RPG stuff and how to like team up with Mario. Sorry, team up with Bowser against some bigger threat. Like
Mhm.
there's just so much they could pull from. It's
Right.
just get wacky with it. I think it could at least be pretty fun.
Yeah. Make video game movies good again.
Yes. um, which like not all of them have been super solid, but as of right now, we have the Last of Us show, which is very very good.
Mhm.
Mario, which is good. There was a Cuphead show, which is pretty solid. Like last year, especially, there was like several like actually pretty good video game adaptations. Um, so yeah, like we're on an upward trend of there being at least some more good ones as opposed to
Right.
none.
Exactly. And I think that's big. We're getting there. Because, like, it
Mhm.
used to be you didn't even have to see it to know, oh, it's a video game movie. It's going to be dog. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's not going to go well.
uh,
Like,
yeah. Um, Speaking of video games,
oh,
the Pokemon Presents thing happened last month, and at the very end of that, they announced Pokemon Legends ZA for 2025.
hmm
Yeah, uh,
how we
it's
feeling?
it, good. Feeling very good. I'm a little shocked that it's not at all tied to Gen 5 Black and White because
hmm
theoretically that would be the next thing because obviously Gen 4 got remakes back in 2021. It's been 3 years, which like is you generally pretty like is not the timetable for remakes. Usually there are at least 4 to 6 years between remakes, but regardless, people were expecting Gen 5 remakes to happen this year or some kind of legend style game in Unova or like a
Right.
like in the past Unova. This is actually taking place in a past Kalos, which is Gen 6, which really just threw everything through a loop. Um, yeah, and the, one of just the weirdest decisions that Game Freak has ever made is during Generation 6, that was the first gen up to that point where there wasn't a third version. We had
Okay.
Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, Platinum, Black and White 2, and then
hmm
X and Y, but no Z. Everyone was like, there's a lot of stuff in Pokemon X and Y that could have been expanded on, places you just can't go, characters and Pokemon that like clearly were intended to have a bigger purpose that just didn't get them
Didn't happen.
for some reason. Um, so yeah, everyone was like expecting in 2015 for there to be a Pokemon Z, but then instead there was just nothing. There was no Pokemon game in 2015. So now, finally, 10 years after that, we're getting Legend Z. So ZA, technically. I don't really know what the A stands for yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out later.
ZA is one.
But yeah, I'm excited for the Pokemon named Zygarde, who was supposed to be the Z of Pokemon Z. He's
hmm
this dragon. It's not important.
I,
um,
I think it is.
okay, so hang on.
Yeah, I was
So,
about to say, you clearly
so,
want to. It's okay.
so Zygarde as a Pokemon is kind of interesting because when he first appeared in Pokemon X and Y, he's just this like basically this big snake that you find at the bottom of some cave somewhere. He's a ground dragon type, and people are like, oh, he's the you know just like Giratina and Kyurem before where like they're clearly the third Pokemon of the box trio, but they're like their stats are a little weaker. But those two Pokemon
Mm,
got new forms to make them at least better. Like, oh, this is clearly gonna be that situation where like in Pokemon Z, he'll get a new form to get better, and Z never happened. But then in Sun and Moon, the Gen 7, yeah 7 after right after that, there was a side quest to get a Zygarde that could change forms, where you have to like collect these like around the region. I think there's 100 cells that like form into Zygarde, and once you have 10, you get like a little dog form of Zygarde. That's that's like way weaker. And then if you get 50, obviously you get the big snake form. And then when you get all 100, it's like this like big, big guy form.
mm.
No idea why they're in this game. Like clearly, Gen Z was going to happen. Right, uh, Pokemon Z was going to happen with this concept as a thing that was going to happen in that game. They
Right.
didn't do it, so they're like, oh, I guess we'll just do it here. I don't know. So I assume we'll we'll get more expanded lore on Zygarde in Pokemon ZA. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, and that it might not be exactly what was expected, but I mean that is big time lore to be finally released.
Hmm. Yeah. And again, I don't know what the A at all stands for. Maybe some other legendary or mythical or
Probably.
something. Like there's a lot of different fan theories that I'm not going to get into right now, but like it's
We don't have time.
we don't have time. What we do have time for is the fact that at the very end of that trailer, they they flash the little symbol for mega evolutions, which it's
Ooh.
criminal that there hasn't been a new mega evolution since Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire back in 2014.
God, 10 years?
Since new ones, yeah, because
Oh my gosh.
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out in 2014. Obviously, nothing 15. Mega evolutions were still accessible in Sun and Moon and then Ultra Sun and Moon, and then they were still accessible in all the Kanto Pokemon that got Mega Evolutions in
Hmm.
Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But then with Gen 8 in 2018, 19, 2019, they just didn't come back. The mechanic is gone. They replaced it with Dynamax, which is cool, but it's not as I don't know. I like Megas. And then with when Diamond and Pearl were heavily rumored to get remakes, like oh they'll bring back Mega Evolutions and give the starters from Gen 4 Megas, and give a bunch of other Pokemon that need the Megas. It's not a thing. Not okay, sure, whatever. It'll just be a completely faithful remake that is just that game again with almost nothing changed. Like that's not okay. It's fine, whatever. And then Gen 9, which no one you it was a fool's errand to expect them at that point. But people were still like, maybe no, not happening. Why would they? But
It's like
now,
your sheep is fine.
yeah, but now that we're going back to the to the at least the region where that's based in the games that evolution mega evolution started, potentially get new mega evolutions for Pokemon that need them again, or at least have the mechanic come back. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that alone is something to get excited about. Like
Hmm.
not even the other stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, but even if they didn't tease that, the fact that we are getting a new Legends game, which I was hoping wouldn't be just a one-off, because I really like that play style. I like the ability just to run up on a Pokemon and just throw a ball and catch it. You don't have to
Yes.
battle it. Like it took my brain a very long time to like get out of that get out of that habit when playing Scarlet and Violet because
Hmm.
you know the same thing where there's Pokemon everywhere. You want to just get it, but you have to battle it first. Like,
You have to
you
actually,
know,
yeah, do it. Yeah. You have to
yeah,
actually Pokemon.
yeah. Which I like Pokemoning, but I like the
I
actually made.
do.
Go, go.
No, go ahead.
I've been talking for too long. Go.
Okay, no, I was gonna say, like they when they especially, I think they could have made that like an option, especially when like with lower levels, when you kind of
Mm,
because you also had to like just kind of let your Pokemon free roam kind of as you walked
yeah.
around. So maybe that could have been a part of that too if they wanted. Like you could have
Hmm.
it to just like automatically beat and catch stuff for you, but
Yeah,
I
that would have
guess
been
not.
cool. But, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like Legends made catching really fun. Um, it I do really hope that they're my number one major complaint about Legends Arceus, which I can't really fault them for trying something different. It just wasn't as well implemented as it could be. They had this kind
Mhm.
of weird uh, battle mechanic where like so in normal Pokemon, your speed compared to the opponent's speed is what determines who goes first in a battle.
Right.
Just every turn, whoever is faster goes first. In Legends Arceus, the opponent's speed is like somehow factored into how many turns in a row they can do before you can even attack.
What?
And you can do this in like every time it's your turn, you can either do a strong style move or an agile style move. A strong one, you'll
Right. I
like get
remember
fewer
that.
turns, but have a stronger attack. An agile, weaker attack, but you can then attack a second time.
Right.
So it got to the point where like you're fighting a pretty strong trainer, and like you're both on your last Pokemon. It's like, oh, they're almost down. One more attack, I can beat them. They just hit you 3 times in a row, and it's like I lose because the mechanics are so unlike what I'm used
Yeah.
to that I can't like work around them like I would like to.
Yeah, that was never the most ideal like concept. I'm glad they didn't. They got rid of that. I was like,
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah,
That like
that was
I like I said,
they were like my bad.
I don't mind them trying something different with the battle mechanics.
Hmm.
I like the idea of the strong and agile, like in a vacuum, but but sometimes, yeah, you're just dead before you even get to attack because your opponent it could just attack several times in a row, and it just I don't know, it was a little annoying.
Yeah.
um, so I I hope they just bring back just the you know regular battle mechanic from the main game, just with the still with the very dynamic camera and with the like everything else from that game with like that was there. Um, but but yeah, not that part of it. Conceptually, I want them to experiment, but not to make it fun, please.
Yeah. Try new things, but do it well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they know they messed up pretty quickly and we're
Hmm.
like, okay, my bad.
Um, yeah, like it's going to be exciting, throughout this year. Like I'm waiting for that moment, probably in June. How they like to space out announcements. Probably in June, where they'll like in some trailer they'll show like a mega evolution of some Pokemon that didn't already have one, confirming that new
Hmm.
ones can get them. Like I want that so bad.
I need it.
Yes. Yeah. Um, that does probably mean that there's not going to be a Pokemon game this year. They would have announced it if there was, because in 21 they announced the Diamond and Pearl remakes and Pokemon Legends Arceus on the same day, one for November, one for January. The only new game they announced was, as far as like big console game, was Legends ZA. So I assume there's not going to be any kind of Pokemon game this year, which I think is fine. But that's also potentially indicative of the fact that, like, you know, that Switch 2 is almost definitely not coming out this year, which is consistent with the rumors. And I don't think this will be a Switch 2 game, but if the Switch 2 is, um, what's it called, backwards compatible, and comes out pretty early next year, this might be a good game to play on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost that time. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it for me. Anything else you want to bring up before we sign off?
Well, yeah, two things. So,
Yep.
Invincible, finally, part 2 comes
Tomorrow, I checked this
tomorrow.
time. It is coming out
Just
tomorrow.
it better after as long as we wait. But I mean, and again, I'm
Four
not. We're
months.
not going to get into it again. But I mean, come on. And it's going to be week to week to week after all this, which is
Mm-hmm.
at this point you owe it to just lay it off the whole thing. Like that's so disrespectful. And I get the show. We only have seen 12 episodes and one special. Like,
yes,
come
that's
on,
true.
man. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't have the show. You don't have the clout to be doing people like that. Like, this is crazy.
But Amazon, they don't care.
I know they don't care, but they should. The disrespect.
You've kept your Prime subscription this whole time, haven't you?
I mean, I don't use my Prime subscription for watching things. I use it for buying things. I just also use it for watching things. I mean, I guess, but it's just like, how dare that? But
Yeah.
we're still gonna watch it. It's fine.
Oh yeah. What was the other
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, and on the Clone Wars, or not Clone Wars, Battlefront, OG collections is released tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which
right.
That's I mean, I'm kind of hyped for it because I mean, online there's 64 player online play, which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the old ones are just better. So
yeah, and I like how certain maps are available in, because that was literally, I think I've gone on record saying this on the podcast before. They would just make absolute gangbusters if they just released Battlefront 2 on updated systems
yes,
with all the maps from the first game also in the second game. And that's more
yeah,
not all of them, but Jabba's Palace and there's 3, I think, maps that are only in the first game are coming into the second one, which is it's good.
yeah. No, I mean, it's one of those things where you everyone who knows this game back in the day was the greatest game ever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you made that game now, you'd make millions. And it's nah, we're gonna do something else. It's but what? You love recycling ideas, but you don't recycle this one?
Mm-hmm. And if this does well, could get a third one. No,
I
that's not
mean,
happening.
it's too late now. I mean, but I don't know. We're too far gone. It was a dream once so long ago, but
Yeah.
that would
But
be.
yeah, that's exciting, especially considering the Battlefront 2 that's on PC right now. The multiplayer is busted. Everyone just hacks and doesn't take damage. Just long jump forever.
Right.
What? Why? What do you?
Come on. Why? Come on.
Yeah.
The game's not fun like that. Come on, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hopefully, yeah. I'm thinking about picking that up. That should be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I think it's
reliving the
digital
old
only,
days.
but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll probably get a PlayStation 4 just because, whatever, the OGs. But play with my brother, definitely. I know it better have it has local multiplayer, right? It should.
I don't know. I would hope
If
so,
it
but
doesn't, we riot. Hold on.
I mean, it has online multiplayer.
No. I mean, I want to kill the person next to me. I don't want to kill
you're
the
right.
person across the come on. My thing is local multiplayer should be easier than online multiplayer.
Yes.
And it's a choice. I mean, that's just oh man, hold on. Okay. Local co-op. The fact that I'm not immediately finding the answer concerns me.
Hmm.
And we will.
Well,
I'll TBD. I will
yeah.
find this and get back to you
Yeah.
guys because because I'm not gonna lie, the fact that you would because you have to take that out of the game to do that,
Right.
which I feel like would be insane.
Yeah. Like
But
you'd have to
not the need
change the
to.
UI of like the main menu, and I
Right.
don't think they would do that.
I mean, I wouldn't think so, but I mean, I don't know. Games these days, I wouldn't be shocked anymore. Nothing surprises me. It seems like.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like regardless, those are two things that are very exciting things I've been, whether I've known it or not, have been looking forward to my entire life. So
Or not. I was bored for this moment. I just realized it just now, but
yeah. So yeah, with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care, everyone.